All right. Hello, everyone. Apology for the technical issue. Well, welcome back to another episode of our live stream session. Now, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone around the world. And thank you for joining us. I am Chester, the host for today, alongside with my partner, Alvin.
Hi guys, I'm Alvin here, and I'm gonna be your host for tonight as well.
Now, of course, the purpose of doing this live stream is to share inspiring story for everyone out there, giving information and knowledge, and hopefully it will make an impact and change your life in the near future.
Yeah. So actually, I think a lot of people tuning in, probably you've heard that we're gonna talk about medical condition. So before we proceed further, don't forget to give us a like and give us some support and share this live stream out to people who you care about because we're gonna talk about a very interesting topic tonight. Correct, Chester?
Yes, correct. And to that topic, you know what, Alvin? Why not you take away from this one?
All right, okay. So today we're gonna talk about SLE. Probably you've seen us sharing about this post and this condition recently. Now probably and people might be thinking, now what is this SLE condition, right? All right, SLE is actually affecting about 1 in 1,000 people worldwide. Okay, to give everyone a better understanding of it, imagine your own body turning against you not just once, but over and over again. Today, it could be your joints, all right? You may wake up to swollen and stiff joints. Now, the next day, probably is your skin starts to flare up, all right? Then comes a lot of fatigue that causes you to always feel tired. And no matter how much time you rest, you always feel fatigue. And these are the sort of the common symptoms affecting people with SLE. You may look fine on the outside, but inside it's a war. It's a war against your own immune system. That's what living with SLE feels like. And the hardest part of it all, there's actually no cure except for the strength to just keep on going. But even in that very troubled storm, some people do strive hard, not just to survive, but actually to heal. And today, you'll meet one of them. Glenda is someone who's walked through this storm and found a way forward. In just a moment, we'll hear her powerful story, the pain, the struggles, the breakthroughs, and the hope that she wants others to hold on to. If you've been dealing with SLE or you know someone who has, be sure to stay till the end or share this live stream with them. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about solutions. We're gonna talking about some insights and tips and how it could actually change your life.
Yes, of course. Now, today we're going to talk about SLE. So, if you have a question about SLE, you can leave a comment below later. I will compile it all together, and of course, maybe we can answer it for you, or we can also ask the guest for tonight, Glenda, to maybe give some tips and tricks as well. Now, I'm curious, Alvin, what causes SLE in the first place?
Now, okay. So before I proceed further, let's just bring up some information for everybody to see. All right. Okay. Here. Okay. SLE, or what we term as systemic lupus erythematosus, all right, more commonly known as SLE, is actually a chronic autoimmune condition with no known cure. All right, people starts. This is an autoimmune condition where your own immune system is attacking your own body. All right. Common symptoms include, all right, joint pain and swelling. A lot of people with SLE starts to feel fatigue. They always feel tired, and they would sometimes have skin irritations or rashes, which is known as the butterfly shape rash around the face. Right, that's a very telltale sign of SLE. And also, some people might have some mouth sores, chest pain, fever. These are also very common, and even if it escalates to hair loss symptoms. So these are the common symptoms affecting people with SLE. Now, people might start to think, now this sounds a very scary condition. Now, what is it caused by? No, nobody can actually see what is it caused by. There are no known causes, and therefore they don't know how to actually cure it. It's just an autoimmune condition. So common causes include genetic. It could be genetically related. Some stress or lifestyle could be triggering some of the irritations on the autoimmune system. All right. And also, it could be due to certain environmental trigger, right? If you have some hormonal fluctuations, it might also trigger SLE, and even some medication, it will also be causing this kind of like irritation and flares as well.
Wow. Like that, what is the treatment or medication, and how do we manage it when we encounter SLE?
All right, good question. So, a lot of people, if they are unfortunately living with SLE, one of the more common things to manage SLE condition is by, of course, if you have joint pain and if you have like swelling, stiffness, you do physical therapy. And if you have more escalated condition, doctors might prescribe medications, including NSAIDs, corticosteroids, immunosuppressants as well, all these different medications. All right. And also, doctor could be recommending some light exercise, acupuncture, massage, as well as some meditation and yoga for people who might have an emotional toll on them due to having this SLE. So there are so many things that people can actually do to actually maintain or actually manage when they have this SLE. Now there are so many things that we've listed, but why don't we actually listen to somebody who's been through it and who's actually managed and lived with SLE's condition? And that's why tonight we're actually very honored. We're actually very happy that we've managed to invite one of the sharer tonight who will be sharing about this condition that she has been living for over 10 years. So now we're gonna invite our guest for tonight, Miss Glennda Parreño. Please give a warm welcome to Miss Glennda.
Hi, Glenda.
Hello, everyone. I'm Glenda Parreño from Davao City, Philippines, and I'm glad that I am invited here to speak about systemic lupus erythematosus and be gladly sharing my personal experience, how
Yeah.
amazing I was able to recover this uh, illness.
Okay. So, Glenda, I also mentioned and you shared with us before. So why don't we start by telling people, the audience online now, how long have you been having this SLE condition?
Since 2014, and that's about 10 years until last year, I had this systemic lupus erythematosus.
And what are the
And so for
challenges?
10 years,
Yes. What are the challenges that you face when you are actually living with this SLE?
yes, for 10 years, I struggled big time. It affects my daily life. I struggled with this chronic pain, swelling in my chronic joint pain, swelling in my feet and my hands, and my skin irritation, rashes. And as you can see, the slides there, I had this a lot of rashes my whole body, and I could barely walk, I could barely stand, and I'm always having this high fever. And during that time, I could not do household chores, or my daily routine is very unusual because I, my family always need to help me in even taking my food. They they need to give me shower. They need to help me in a lot of things because I don't have any strength at all, and so it hinders me doing anything normal. And that was the biggest struggle I had for 10 years.
Yeah. As we can see from the picture, I'm sure you in hospitalized and probably I'm sure you've probably been admitted a few times to the hospital. Was it correct?
Personally, I am so much blessed because I was not confined in the hospital for the 10 years long. But I was confined at home. I was confined at home. Um, and I did I did go for checkup every month to my doctors. And I had three specialist doctors in Davao City and also in Manila. And
Yeah.
I need to keep going back every month to have my checkup, my laboratory test. Three doctors actually, because I I seek for three medical opinions to make sure that just to know about what is happening in me in my health, because I could not believe that my doctors told me this is not a common illness, and there is no known cause for this. And the biggest fear and frustration I had when my doctors told me there's no cure for this illness. And so my biggest um, hope is hoping someday that I will be able to find any cure. And so God so great that finally I was able to get back my normal health now. And that,
Yeah.
as you can see on the video, the images
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
that's the long struggle I had.
Okay. So from the pictures, we also see that you probably went for a skin biopsy in 2014. Also with shingles. I'm sure all this caused a lot of pain, a lot of emotional toll on you. Because you do not probably that time you do not understand why is your body having all this condition, right?
Now, Glenda, I would like to ask, before knowing Prive, how did you manage with this condition? I'm sure you went through a lot, right?
Yes, during those 10 years, I did have my medication. I had steroids for 7 years, and I also had biological treatment for 6 months, which is quite expensive. And doing the biological treatment, it's through IV infusion. And but then the effect is you only take it for 1 month, but you don't have any pain for the whole month. And I mean, and also I did have cellular activation pills, and I also managed to do some light cardio exercises, and I need to eat good food, balanced diet, and even if I had a hard time in standing or walking, I tried my best to really do something that I can be happy, not to dwell on any worries and frustration, and especially in always experiencing this extreme chronic joint pain, and especially when you think there's no hope, but then I always pray to God that someday God will show me any hope and possibility of this healing, and also um, need to believe that anything is possible with God. And so I keep praying and having this meditation. I do have a regular massage because anybody who has this SLE will not be able to cope with this extreme pain. only your mind, if you have the strong mind to have positive thinking, and when you think that anything is possible, you have the positive energy to keep going.
Wow. Now, the way you manage it is like going through medication, treatment, and of course, aside from that, you also have to control your diet as well. And not only that, you have to do a lot of other type of treatment, like reducing all the pain in your body. Is that correct?
That is correct. And you can take any possible means to just lessen pain, extreme pain.
Yeah. I I think we all can understand and feel we cannot imagine how you must be going through that struggle, but we can feel the frustration it must have been for you. Now, I'm sure a lot of the viewers would also like to know because we as somebody who has SLE, like we all mentioned, SLE is a condition that is not curable. There are no known cure. It's just about managing the different symptoms that comes up. So I'm sure when we hear of this condition happening to us or to people around us, there might be moments where we feel frustrated or fear or hopeless. So I'm sure this caused a lot of emotional and mental stress to you, Glenda. So how do you actually cope with all this emotional stress?
Yes, when my doctors told me there's no known cause, no known cure for this SLE, my first thought is, wow, how can this be possible? But then I tried to explore all possibilities when it comes to medical breakthroughs, and
Yeah,
so uh, I I did always pray that I'm sure there's a purpose why that could have happened to me, having this SLE. I may be able uh, to have the strength to cope by praying, and also be able to uh, just keep on going with life, because if you dwell on sadness and worries, nothing can happen. So I always pray, and uh, I know, even if the doctors told me there's no cure about this sickness, this SLE, but I always believe that whatever your mind can conceive, your body can achieve. So I do exercises, and always have positive energy. I always think about positive thoughts that, you know, uh, I know my body can heal itself if
yeah.
there's nothing the medical field can do.
I think, Glenda, you did summarize and give a lot of advice for people who are also facing this emotional stress if they're living with SLE. I think, Glenda, you gave a very good advice. The main thing is about staying positive, always believing that your body will heal, always having faith and trust in that your body will fight against all this and believe in the possible and always have this positive energy around it. I'm sure that will really help you or even the people tuning in now live. You can get these tips and apply on your own. I'm sure it's going to be very helpful and going to make some impact to you. So, Glenda, um, now as we move on, we've understand the past that before how you had this problem and how it affected you. So I'm sure a lot of people will know how did you actually manage and actually recovered, sort of like had a lot of improvement. And from there, we also know that you've used some of our products and you also encounter Prive. So actually, how or from who did you actually hear about Prive or our product iTeraCare?
I got to know Prive International Philippines through my cousins, because they introduced me the iTeraCare devices. and they told me about the features and how it can possibly help me with my chronic pains. And so I tried it, and my first thought is, wow, this could be the answer to my prayer. And I've been praying to God, if there's anything possible you can do, any instruments that you can help me heal, I know it will come. So when my cousins introduced iTeraCare, I know that was it. That was
Okay.
year 2020, the last week of October.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, Glenda, when you first was introduced to iTeraCare, to our product, to Prive International, you probably were looking for so many different solutions or ways that could actually help you. And maybe this was the answer, right? When you were introduced to iTeraCare. So do you have any what was your first impression? Do you straight away believe in the device, or you probably will feel like, okay, this is my last chance to get recovery?
Yes, my first impression and thoughts about iTeraCare is, wow, this could be another thing that I can try, that can really probably help me. So the first time I use it, because I was having swelling on my feet, I'm having hard time standing and walking. The first time I used it for about, I was blowing my feet for like 30 minutes. Wow, the heat is quite relieved. It relieves my pain. And so after the 30 minutes of blowing, I was able to imagine, I mean, I was able to experience relief from pain. And when I get home, I was able to sleep deep sleep. I had deep sleep really, and so it gives me relaxation. And so the next within that week, I went back to my cousin to try it again, and it's the same thing. The result is amazing. The chronic pain is always gone after the blowing session.
Wow, seems like you are enjoying after your first time interact with the iTeraCare. Now, can you tell me what do you like about the product? Like, is it safe to use or easy to easy to use or easy to handle?
Yes, initially, it's just like an ordinary hair blower, but then it is much more very effective. It's very safe and easy to use and very reliable, because every time I use it consistently every day or even every night, I always have this relief of pain. Imagine, I've been struggling with chronic joint pain for 10 years, and the first 1 week of using the iTeraCare, I always have this relief from pain. So for me, my understanding is, wow, how can this possible? How can this product so amazing that it really helped me with my struggle in terms of pain. And I knew that it has the feature of terahertz frequency, the quantum, which gives me the scalar energy, and also the optical quartz, which is giving me the best in like getting the sunlight, the energy from the sunlight, which is very good. Because as as I was told by my friends who search about who, who take who took research about this lupus SLE. Any patient with this SLE should not be exposed to sunlight, because it might be very bad for the health for the patient. And I knew some patients with this SLE actually died because of heat stroke from the exposure to sunlight. So I was very cautious getting out, getting the sunlight. And so I was happy that I had this iTeraCare device.
I'm sure you would agree that the sunlight energy that you harness from iTeraCare is so different from the actual sunlight because it has no UV rays, no harmful radiation, and you won't feel the much of irritation as compared to sun exposure, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So Glenda, after experiencing and using iTeraCare, you started off by using it just not too often, and then you start to use it very often. I'm sure, yeah, every week or nearly every day you're blowing using the iTeraCare. So what are the improvements that you start to see for your condition in terms of maybe from your joint pain or from your sleep issues? Any improvements on that?
Yeah, for 5 months, consistently using it every day, I was able to experience amazing result because I was able to get back to normal health. I have this my body balance is already back. I'm able to run and walk long distances, and I have strength in my wrist, my hands. I can carry heavy and like luggages and anything heavy. Unlike before, I could not even open doorknobs, open doors, any containers. It's really it's really bad for my strength before having this sickness. But after using iTeraCare for just 6 months, consistently every day, blowing for more than 30 minutes, it really helped a lot.
Like I'm sure, like what you mentioned, then I'm sure it must be a lot of relief. As somebody who started off by not being able to twist the containers or open the door, and you start to feel like much more control of your joints, of your fingers, and from somebody who probably has mobility issues or who has a lot of pain and swelling in the joints, you probably started with not being able to walk very well. Maybe you have pain every time you take a step. And to somebody who eventually, like you mentioned, was able to walk and run and jog even, right? I'm sure that's very, very good and very, very impressive. And you were also able to climb up the stairs with no problem. Very, very good
That's right.
health.
That's right. Yes, and also in it when it comes to the rashes and sensitivity with my skin, um, my skin has healed. It almost no rashes, and my skin is brightened. It's back to normal. I'm getting this flawless skin. Unlike before, I had a lot of scars, darkened skin, and now my skin has brightened. And also before I almost lost my hair. I always had falling hair, but using iTeraCare just like like having it as a hair blower, my hair has been healthy now.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of people would like to see the improvement from somebody who started in 2014. Like we've seen your pictures previously, not so healthy, always weak and fatigued. And look at the picture of Glenda in just 2023 as after she got introduced to Prive International and to iTeraCare. Look at her after 10 years of being in a very not too healthy condition, and she started to become very active. She's able to run. Even her skin complexion, like she mentioned, she looks so much more happier and radiating in her picture. And as let's show everybody a short clip of you running. I'm sure they will be so amazed for somebody who are having SLE condition, who always struggle with a lot of this joint pain and stiffness, and eventually after 10 years, finally being able to find the freedom to run, to jog, and even run long distances. This is actually so amazing testimonial that we have from you, Glenda.
Now, yes, what amazing improvement after using the device. Now, of course, I'm sure the audience out there might be curious, like how Glenda used the iTeraCare to improve af just by using the iTeraCare. Now, Alvin, do you know any meridian point for using targeting for people who have SLE?
Right, yes. In fact, there are certain ways or certain places that we should um, advise people who are having SLE what they can do. All right. So again, let's see from if we follow the meridian points and according to our traditional Chinese medicine theory, using iTeraCare is very good to target certain acupressure points in our body. Of course, we start off with the basic 10 points from the soles and the palms and down to the soles of the feet and even other major 10 points protocol that we have. And also because if you're affected, you have affected joints in terms of because of SLE, maybe you have some joint pain or swelling. Okay, remember to blow on all these affected joints. Okay, focus more on the painful joints. That will be very good for about 15 minutes. Blow on your, probably if you have stiff knees, you can blow on the knees. If you have very tight finger joints, you can blow on the fingers and the palms. And also don't forget to blow on the entire back for 2 minutes. That would be really, really helpful for people who are having some joint issue and mobility issues as well. Okay, another point that I would also like to advise people who are having this SLE condition, you can actually point it at ST36 to Sanli. All right, you can actually point it at ST36, which is about 4 inches below the knee, as I've shown from the diagram here. Okay, you can blow at this point here. This point is actually very good to improve this our immune conditions, as we know that SLE is actually an autoimmune condition. All right, your immune system is attacking your own body. So by stimulating this acupressure point, you're able to actually modulate and regulate our immune system to be even more healthier and to balance out the immune system and the hormonal issues as well. And besides that, this point can also relieve the inflammatory responses in our body and also to relieve this kind of fatigue and swelling, especially on our legs. So this is a very good points that we can actually focus on if we are to actually look into where we would need to blow using the iTeraCare.
Wow, what an amazing information, Alvin. Now, what about dietitian or supplements? Is there anything that for SLE person has to look out for or have do they have to control their eating habits?
Yes, in terms of dietary, we do recommend that because again, if you're having inflammation, all right, do remember to take more of this anti-inflammatory foods. All right, for example, take more of fruits and vegetables. Take more of foods that is high in antioxidant. Foods that's high in antioxidant will help you relieve inflammation. Right, you can also start to take some omega-3, all right, which is also very good for anti-inflammatory properties. It helps you calm and relieve the inflammation that's happening in the body. In terms of supplements, I would also recommend that you can consider taking some anti-inflammatory supplements. For example, some natural herbal supplements like curcumin, turmeric, boswellia, frankincense. All this will be able to help you manage and relieve the inflammation. You can also take fish oil, which I mentioned is very high in the omega-3. You can try to take some collagen supplements. Collagen supplements is very good to improve the joint cartilage and to improve the mobility as well as the stiffness in your joints. So these are the supplements as well as dietary recommendations that you can actually consider when you're having this SLE condition. Of course, we do have other products in Prive International that we can recommend on as well, like I mentioned just now. All right. you can start using the iTeraCare. iTeraCare just focus on the affected joints that we have. You can blow on the affected joints as well as certain parts of the body that is feeling stiffness and a very tightness of the muscles as well. Okay, one thing you do remember, if you're using iTeraCare, if you're having a skin irritation or rashes or sensitive, if you're having a flare up, try to set the heat to a lower heat, or even better, try to use the iTeraCare Pro, which you can turn off the heat altogether, so as not to trigger the inflamed skin conditions. Because sometimes when they have an inflamed skin, especially very inflamed skin and sensitive skin, it may be a very difficult to heal if adding heat to the inflamed skin and flare up. So that's the tips. Do remember to use iTeraCare on the joints, each parts, and on the skin. Do try to make it a lower heat if possible. Now, other things that you can also consider, you can try our graphene energy patch. Graphene energy patch is very good to relieve swelling, to relieve pain. Okay, it is very effective. You can just use the patch and put it on the body. Okay, and this is a very good product which helps to relieve the pain and swelling. All right. Also remember, if you're having irritated skin, don't put it on the part of your skin. Okay. Get in touch with us if you would like to know more about the graphene energy patch and whether it's available at the nearest branch to you. Okay. Another thing to remember is keep yourself hydrated. Always remember to drink enough water, because when you're having inflammation, a lot of your bodies is having a lot of toxins, and when you keep yourself hydrated, you are able to flush out these toxins. So you can choose normal water, or better yet, you can choose functional water like hydrogen water. Drink hydrogen water is also very good, because hydrogenated water, hydrogen itself is a very high antioxidant and high anti-inflammatory properties. So drinking hydrogen water will be very good for your condition. And we do have a few products that contains hydrogen water, that provides hydrogen water. For example, the Seven Wonders, as well as our oversaturated hydrogen water over here. Okay, these are the things that you can consider improving on, or even trying out if you're having this condition.
Wow, what an amazing the tips and knowledge for everyone out there. Of course, aside from that, not only using iTeraCare, after using iTeraCare, you can also do some simple stretching if you are having some joint pain as well. So here we also compile some simple stretching to promote relaxation and circulation without stretching the joint. And also this also help to reduce stiffness as well. So first off, we have the seated forward fold. Now this one is for you to sit on the floor with your leg extend straight in front of you and slowly extend forward, touching towards your feet, and hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. Of course, remember to breathing deeply. Now, the second stretching pose is the child pose. Now, for this one, it requires to sit back on your heel and stretch your arm forwards, lowering down your chest onto the floor and resting your forehead on the ground, and breathe deeply and relax and hold the pose for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Now, thirdly, we have, I think this one is familiar to everyone. This is the pose that we mentioned last time. Now, this is the cat-cow pose. Hold your hand and knee, and then arch it forward, and then dip it backward, and repeat this 10 to 15 times. Now, of course, these are the poses that are useful for your overall body. But what about if you have like stiffness in your wrist or on your neck area? So up next, we have the wrist circles. So this one, you can take out your hand and just do like this circular motion. Just twist it, circle clockwise 10 times and 10 times anti-clockwise. This will improve your risk of stiffness as well. Of course, we also have the neck roll. So this one, you just have to sit up straight, sit or stand. Of course, you can just turn your head around like this, repeatedly 3 to 5 times of each direction. So if you're doing 5 times towards clockwise, then you have to do 5 times anti-clockwise as well. Now, of course, also something to avoid for SLE person. Now, of course, you have to avoid sunlight. As Glennda has mentioned, you're unable to like direct heat from sunlight as well. It can trigger flare. Always use sunscreen and wear protection clothing. And of course, don't overdo activities like going to the gym or doing any extreme exercise. Don't overdo it. Don't push yourself. Rest when needed. And then of course, processed food or junk food. Now, these two type of food causes inflammation. They increase the inflammation for SLE person. Now, especially for fast food or any sugary snack, avoid those if possible to don't cause any more inflammation for SLE person.
Okay, thank you, Chester, for very great sharing as well. I'm sure a lot of people tuning in, you've learned a lot in terms of some simple stretching, some simple exercises that you can easily do at home if you start to feel some joint stiffness and pain, or even if it's not on your leg or the hip joints, then you can also do some simple neck exercises and wrist roll circles as well. Of course, there are so many different stretches out there. We are not able to share with you every of these stretches, but do try to keep it mobile. But always also remember not to move your joints too much if you're having pain. Just do it in moderation. Keep everything in moderation, but always keep it active so it doesn't become too stiff. Very thank you again, Chester, for that
You're very
sharing.
welcome.
All right. Okay,
Now
Chester,
let's
I
welcome Glenda back again
yeah.
because yes, I know what you're gonna ask, Alvin. So yes, we have numerous of people commenting on our live stream, and some question is actually for Glenda. So one of it is, how do you deal with SLE, the good day versus the bad days?
You mean how to deal with the bad days, having extreme pains?
Yes,
During those times when I'm having extreme chronic pains, what I do is I meditate, I do light exercises, and as much as possible, I eat well. Uh, just avoiding junk foods or uh, this fast foods. Also, need to relax more, and also give your body to rest in order to heal, and also uh, do do anything good, kindness to others, especially even if you're in pain. If you can do a little bit of kindness to others, share what you can, make people happy. I'm sure it will go back to you, and somehow it helps the joy you experience. It also add up to healing, and also avoid being stressed as much as possible. Avoid anything that can make you feel stressed. And also, I also incorporated not not just using one iTeraCare device, but I do regular use of any iTeraCare devices like the classic blower, the iTera Pro, which is the professional hospital used for blowing, and also I tried. I also had oxytap actually. I've been daily. I've been consuming oxytap water, which gives me more oxygen in the body in order to have energy. That helps a lot, and it's not about the price, but the value that you can add up to your life. And also, you can help others in sharing iTeraCare as well.
Wow, well said, Glenda. It's not about the price, it's the value. Now, we also have a few more questions that I have compiled together here. Now, this question is from May saying, what was your turning point after your diagnosis?
Wow, the turning point is I'm always grateful that every day is like a miracle, that I'm being alive and enjoying the best of health. And also, I always believe that everyone just like me can have a purpose to give value to people's lives through wellness, and also sharing what you can do in order to give hope to people. And because this is not just a journey uh, to myself, but also a journey to transform lives. That's why I'm always helping others, sharing iTeraCare every day as much as possible. Anybody, not just to my family and friends, but also the people I come across with.
Now we have one last question is from Ross all the way from Philippines saying like now she actually comments several and I managed to compile one interesting question. Before I go to the question, she also commented that you are brave. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. And
Wow,
also
I'm
her
so
question is, what are the most common early stage or symptoms for SLE?
the common symptom is actually since it's attack any vital organs in the body. For me, my personal experience is it attacks big time on my skin. I always have this very sensitive skin. I'm easy to have this itch and rashes, and also extreme joint pain in my hands and feet, which results to I could barely walk, I could barely stand, and I do not have any strength in my hand. That was the biggest struggle. So those are normal, common issues or common symptoms for this SLE.
Uh, so that's all of the question that I have compiled at the moment. So later on, if I manage to get some interesting question, I will ask again. Now I'll pass the spotlight back to you, Alvin.
All right. Thank you, Chester, for also looking into our Facebook and looking into comments. So, and I'm sure a lot of people tuning in today, they will be very, very happy and they learn a lot. They get inspired by you, Glenda. I'm sure they've actually heard of your story and we've also shared so many tips to them. And I'm sure they're also very happy to learn from you, to hear your story and actually to know that you've actually found a very good way to recover and to actually manage to live with SLE in a very very healthy way. So if you guys are still online and want to leave more motivational or inspiring comments to cheer Glenda up or even cheer others with this SLE condition, do continue to leave the comments at your Facebook Live as well to let us know what other messages or words of encouragement you would like to tell us more. All right. Okay. So thank you again, Glenda, for the sharing and giving opportunity for others to learn of this. Now, before we end this session, I would also have some lasting questions that I would like to also ask you. So, what advice would you actually give to somebody who may be tuning in? Maybe they are newly diagnosed with SLE and they're feeling overwhelmed. Do you have any advice for them? How what they should do or how they should really be feeling?
Yes, in every situation you are confronted with, or every situation you are in, especially if there is sickness, health issues, don't be sad, don't be, don't be, don't you worry because anything is possible. Your body can heal itself with with the faith that God can help you, and also believe in people that people can help as well. And there are medical breakthroughs, but uh, also it starts from within. Uh, the faith and also the good thing that you can do, sharing your life, even in the most um, saddest part. But then, yeah, I wish everyone to be blessed with the best of health, and also be be kind to yourself and to others, and also believe that um, God will bless you in any possible way. And I'm always grateful that there's always chance to, you know, live life happy, live life one step at a time. And so keep going, keep the faith, and everything is will be well. Thank you.
That's a very good advice. So people, you might be feeling overwhelmed or stressed. So coming from somebody who's actually went through the same situation like you, or are probably living with the same condition, Glenda is telling you to always feel a positive, to have faith, and to believe in your own body. It will take time, but you will surely be on the road to recovery. So don't feel too much stress. Don't put too much stress on yourself, but just keep positive and always think of the good will actually at the turn of the corner. So, Glenda, lastly, what role did any support? We've heard that you've managed to overcome or actually went through this struggle or all this pain. So, what about supporting roles from whether from family or from friends? Do you think these support play a role in your progress, in your recovery? Support from family and friends.
Yes, tremendous support from family is really big time, because imagine for 10 years I was not confined in the hospital, but my home is like a hospital, which my family helped me a lot in every day. Uh, they even spoon fed me. Those times when I'm not able to, I don't have any strength to even hold the utensils. So they spoon fed me in. They they give me a bath. They give me anything which gives me comfort, and also taking care of me, and the kindness truly help, and also the sacrifices. And I'm always thankful that I have my family. The support is, I cannot imagine. It's really big, and it's extraordinary. And also friends also help me boost my energy. That friends can make you happy, and they're not just there for fun, but also helping you, motivate you in doing things, in getting healed. And also even strangers, because if you show kindness, people can also show kindness and give kindness to you. And so that helps a lot. So it's the great thing is we help each other. You know, this life is not easy, but then if you live, share your life with, and you acknowledge and be grateful to the people who help you, you live happy, and uh, you experience the best of health as well.
Very well said. Thank you, Glenda, for sharing with us. Thank you for, I'm sure people will be able to understand that, yes, the support from family and friends are also very helpful in getting somebody living with SLE through their whole life. So if you know somebody who's living with it, do show some concern, do show some care. Or if you yourself are living with SLE, don't forget you have a lot of people caring for you. And also, the same applies to you, Glenda. I'm sure after tonight, I hope you can feel a lot of love, a lot of care coming from the whole Pride family. A lot of people are showing you a lot of care and concern, and not just from the Pride family, even worldwide. we are all sending the love to you, and you are not alone, and you have gained so many friends who are so generous in showing this love to you, Glenda. So thank you again for your honesty, your strength and inspiration.
I thank you very much, and I feel so blessed, and so God bless you all.
Yeah. Your story has been like a reminder that even in a very hard moments, healing is possible, and that no one is actually walking in this road alone. So we are all in this together. Okay, if you're tuning in right now, all right, okay, know that for a fact that there are so many people giving you concern and showing love to you. So thank you again, Glenda, for sharing with us. We thank you for a very blessed sharing tonight. And thank you all, the audience, for tuning in. And we're very happy for being able to share with you a very powerful, impactful story tonight. And if you are having a SLE, if you're living with SLE, or if you know somebody who's having any chronic condition, reach out, connect, right? Keep moving forward. Know for a fact that this today's story probably made a change in your life. So if you have further comments in the future, in the Facebook, we will be sharing it out again. And if you have any questions, we will compile it and share it and answer your questions again in the future.
Yeah. So if any more comments, just feel free to leave it and we will compile it in the near future alongside with some, maybe we will invite some more expertise here alongside with us to answer all the questions for everyone.
Yeah. And again, if you have also inspiring stories like Glenda's, don't forget to share with us. We do have our share of story campaign still running. All right, you can let us know and then share with us your story. And who knows, your story will be another story. Will be able to inspire another person across halfway across the world. So thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you again, Glenda. And over here, we would like to end this session and thank you for all again, and we wish everyone happy evening and good night. Thank you all.
Okay, goodbye.
Thank you.
Medical disclaimers. Prife International products are not medical devices. The information provided on our website is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please consult a medical professional or healthcare provider if you are seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Prife International shall not be liable for risks or issues associated with using or acting upon the information on our website. Prife International shall not be liable or responsible for the actions, misrepresentations, or negligence of our members who are independent contractors.